Thank you for visiting again to listen to another selection from Thomas and Friends 5-Minute Stories, the Sleepy Time collection. You can follow along. Next we'll be reading James to the Rescue. One lovely morning, James pulled into Sodor's Search and Rescue Center. He was smiling widely and looking very pleased. "Sir Topham Hatt has asked me to be the rescue engine today," he puffed proudly to Rocky. Just then Toby trundled up the track. "Hello, James," he tooted. "Sir Topham Hatt has sent me to help you." But James most certainly didn't want any help. At that very moment, Rocky received an urgent message from Gordon's driver. Gordon was in trouble. James immediately puffed away down the track to rescue his friend. "Wait for me," Toby tooted. "Remember, Gordon's a big engine. You're going to need some help." But James most certainly didn't want any help. Gordon's front wheels had come off the track. "I'll shunt you back onto the track in no time," James peeped. Toby was worried. "Gordon's a heavy engine," he said. "We should fetch Rocky for this job." But James most certainly didn't want any help. "I'm the rescue engine," he puffed proudly. "I can do this myself." James buffered up behind the big blue engine. He shoved and he shunted, and then there was trouble. The track creaked, it cracked, and then it crumbled. Gordon groaned as the track gave away. "I think now it really is time to get Rocky," Toby told James. But James still didn't want any help. "I'm the rescue engine, and I have a plan," he peeped. "I'll biff Gordon back onto the track." So James backed up behind Gordon. Then he pumped his pistons, and then he biffed Gordon's buffer with his huge bash. But, oh no, James and Gordon toppled off the track together into a muddy field. "I guess I'm not a very good rescue engine after all," James said sadly. "And now I really do need help." "Happy to help, James," Toby peeped proudly. He rushed back to the rescue center to fetch Rocky. Rocky came and lifted Gordon and James out of the mud and back onto the track. "Toby, will you please shunt me to the rescue center?" James asked. "Happy to help, James," Toby peeped proudly again. Back at the rescue center, Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for James and Toby. "Thank you for sending Toby to help me, sir," James said. "You'll be glad to know that he's the best rescue tram on Sodor." And Toby was glad to hear it. He beamed from buffer to buffer.